So a big shout out to Mitchell Signs here in Meridian, who did an absolute killer job on the reflective graphics on the now new to me Ram 2500. But if you're looking for a good company to work with that can put your name on everything from a billboard to maybe even creating your own company t-shirt, these guys have you covered at a very reasonable price. But we are going to be looking at a rather enormous fifth wheel floor plan today, and the way the floor plan is laid out, you could possibly look at this thing as though it's a two-story RV. So we are going to start on the inside first, but I'd like to go over some of the numbers with you just to give you an idea on how big this thing really is. This camper is going to be 43 feet, 6 inches of total length, and it's going to be coming in at 13 feet, 6 inches to the highest point. It's going to have a gross vehicle weight rating of 14,140 pounds and a dry weight as it currently sits of 11,890 pounds. This is going to be the brand new 2023 Forest River Wildwood Heritage Glen, model number 378FL. The FL, of course, if you don't know by now, does stand for front living. This model is going to have 5 total slide outs, provide you with sleeping room possibly for 7 or 8. The new interior colors are going to be called Cambridge. It brings over a lot more tan and gray compared to last year's darker colors. So the Heritage Glen is known as a full profile unit, and what that means is that it's not going to taper off in the front quite as much as other makes and models do. And with that being said, you're going to end up with a lot more ceiling height here in the upstairs. So, and I've measured a couple different places. I've gotten close to 6'6", and as you get closer to the TV in the fireplace in the front, you're right at 6'5". Your entertainment center is all the way to the front with that electric fireplace, sound bar, and of course your 55-inch smart TV is on the televator. But of course you can just leave this in the down position, enjoy all the natural sunlight. The front window is trimmed out with this accordion style black shade. The rest of them are trimmed out with a full blackout gray roller shade. Some of the windows are also trimmed out with a valance on each side, which does a great job of keeping all that sunlight out. The furniture is a Thomas Payne collection furniture. These are recliners, and the rest of these are sleeper sofas. You can possibly sleep upwards of 4 individuals up here in the front living area. So let's go ahead and step down into the kitchen area where you've got 2 more slides on each side. Notice they removed the carpet from last year. I'm just going to kind of pan around the room, give you an overall look of the kitchen. So one thing I'm noticing that's changed from last year, and which is a big improvement, is this wall. Notice all the dead space. So last year this cutout was not here, so that's a big improvement, giving you a lot more shelving. That's rather nice. The fridge on board is a Furrion brand. This is a 12-volt fridge. This does work off the vehicle power or that battery, which the battery is kept charged from that 200-watt solar panel on the roof. That solar panel is monitored from a 30-amp charger. Overall, the system does work nicely. Let's come around and take a look at your oven now. So Furrion, this is about your standard size RV oven. Enough room for maybe a casserole dish. 3 burners on the top. Backsplash has been upgraded from last year as well. So your countertops are what's called a pressed membrane countertop, or that's what I call it at least, or you can call it a seamless. It's a hard heated plastic that they wrapped over the material, and the purpose behind wrapping it is in the event that it makes contact with water, that material does not start to swell. You've got a single basin undermount sink, residential style faucet. I love the different accent lights underneath the island as well as over both of the slides. Let's take a look at some of the kitchen storage. So the storage, pretty deep here. These are soft close latches throughout the kitchen. That's rather nice to have. Coffee prepping station, or maybe an additional accessory kind of place. Maybe a coffee maker or deep fryer over here. Deep fryer, air fryer. I would not recommend deep frying anything inside of a camper. Just imagine trying to get the smell out. It would not be easy. More storage, kind of a glass accent with a pretty cool pattern. Your dining room slide is right at 6'5". All the windows are nice. That's nice to trend them out with a valance. I like when they have most of the windows done with a valance. They've removed the carpet, replacing it with this more of a woven type material. That's definitely a big upgrade. And of course you do have the additional leaflet there. Let's come back and look at some of the controls. So whenever you get ready to receive this thing and you got everything closed and you're wanting to gain access to the controls, don't come through this door. Come to the back door, because all the controls are located right here in the hallway for your slide operations, your light switches, and so forth. On board also you do in fact have heated holding tanks, which is nice. So fully enclosed underbelly. Each one of the holding tanks are wrapped with a 12-volt blanket, keeping them from freezing in the winter. And let's look at the master bedroom before we go upstairs. Notice the doors. These have been changed from last year. So this does in fact have a drop frame construction, which is how they're going to achieve all that ceiling height upstairs. Love the floors. This is going to be a custom king size bed. I do believe the dimensions are 66 by 80. You do have plenty of room to change. That's rather nice. I would have liked to maybe have seen a shelf or a phone or a CPAP machine. And let's talk 110 and 12-volt outlets. They do exist, but they're a little on the far side. Underneath the bed you do have some additional storage. That's trimmed out rather deep too. That's probably 3.5 feet deep, maybe 5 feet, 6 feet wide. This camper is going to be washer and dryer prepped for a combo unit. That's going to be it over there. I'll get to that in just a second. Let's take a look at some of the storage here in the bedroom. Hanging closets on the right, or at least this one up here is. You do have the rod. No rod does not exist on the bottom one. 6 different pull-outs. So now let's look at your washer and dryer prep area. So if you guys like what you see so far, go ahead and leave me a comment. Leave me a thumbs up. Everything you do with my video helps me out greater than you guys realize. Let's look at the upstairs area. So this is rather interesting to me. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 230 pounds. And I can get up here and move around like it's no problem at all. In the center, notice the vaulted ceiling. Height, they're right at 35, 36 inches. Each one of the mats are 35 by 72. You got 110 and 12-volt outlets on both sides of the bed, plus a little shelf. Let's spin around. Television connections for possibly maybe a 32-inch TV. There's your ventilation for your air conditioning. And let's head back downstairs and go over the bathroom area. And I really do hope you guys, if you've met me before, you'll probably realize that that was pretty easy for me to do. Lots of room in that loft. It's really, really nice. Lots of ceiling room in the bed, in the bathroom here. Porcelain foot flush toilet. Look at your bathroom vanity. So you got your same countertops continued over from the kitchen area. Medicine cabinet. So let's look at our price. So at date and time of making the video, MSRP of $99,655. For pricing and availability though, be sure to check the link found down in the description, which takes you back to my website, where you can also view more additional photos as well. But if you're looking for a certain layout that maybe provides you with sleeping for 7 or 8 comfortably, and you're not wanting to sacrifice your kitchen and living room space just to gain access to a second bedroom, this model is certainly one to consider. But I know the video is not going to do it justice, but this thing is just absolutely enormous. And of course, with it being that big, it's going to require a much larger vehicle to safely tow it. Your hitch weight is going to be 2,140 pounds, and I'd recommend towing it with at least a single or dual wheel 1-ton just for safety purposes. This model is going to be leveled from a 6-point electric leveling system. However, there are some manual steps involved. You must first let down the leveling leg at least half of the distance before pulling out the plunger. And whenever you let the plunger out, let the leg down and make sure the plunger goes all the way through. There are times we'll find these things set up where that plunger's not come through and that leg is then starting to bend. But the controls to operate that 6-point leveling system are found through the front pass-through compartment. Really thick baggage door, right at 1.5 inches thick. So this is your front pass-through compartment that has a couple of things going on. But your controls are located right over here. But just by simply pressing that auto level button, the coach will level itself, or you can raise the front or just retract everything. Really, really easy system to operate. Don't let it intimidate you. This is called the water management area, where your water lines will come up through the floor, connecting to your city water connection or your freshwater holding tank, whichever you're doing at the moment. And that is your black tank flush, water heater bypass, satellite or cable connections at your campground. That's where those will be hooking to. But really big pass-through compartment, really big floor joists, and I like to see that radiant foil to assist with keeping that, the floor nice and warm. Both of your propane bottles are on one side. You do have two 30-pound bottles, which is kind of convenient. It prevents you from bouncing on each side to change those out. But they did cut back on the baggage door here. That is rather thin, probably right at 1/4 inch thick and 1/2 inch thick here. 10-gallon gas or electric hot water heater. And there's a shot of that 12-inch I-beam construction with the rack and pinion slide goes straight through it. That is the middle set of leveling legs. Fully enclosed underbelly with these 4x8 removable sheets. That does make it a lot easier if you're having some service issues for that technician to gain access to. That's the drop frame construction, so that's how they achieve all that additional headroom. Two 6,000-pound axles. This is the only sewer connection point you're going to have. So you got a black tank up here, 30 gallons for your black. You've got two grays. Both of your gray tanks combined are 62 gallons. That's kind of an odd number if you're going to be 30 and 30, but 62 is what the manufacturer says. And there's another shot of the rack and pinion slide. Really, really strong, beefy structure. And there's the drop frame for you. You are provided with about a 25-foot power cord. That's the power supply area, so that's where you're going to be connecting everything to. Vacuum bonded sidewalls and floors, fully walkable roof. The roof is constructed of a 3/8 decking. The floor of the coach is going to 5/8 tongue and groove plywood. I like this. You do have the bumper. Nice place to store your sewer lines or possibly even a smaller water line once you're finished camping or maybe in the transit. Let's look at the campsite now. Both entryways are outfitted with the step above step and the larger grab handle that extends down, making grabbing a hold of this a lot easier. Both doors are outfitted with a friction hinge, 30 inches wide, and you're at 5'11" tall. You do have outdoor TV connections here, so you could mount possibly, I don't know, wouldn't go too big and overload the wall, but maybe about a 32 to maybe a 40-inch TV. Your TV connections in that 110 outlet. That second set, a step above steps, and these do have that larger platform that assists with transitioning into your coach. Awning right over the slide. Some people like it, some dislike it. I think it works nicely, keeping both doors completely covered. And this is the other side of the pass-through compartment, which has a couple other things going on here. So this is going to be the smart charger, 30 amp charger that monitors the solar panel. So the charge goes from the roof to here to the battery in the front compartment. This is the switch to control those docking lights on the front of the RV and your battery disconnect switch here. Really big pass-through compartment. Dimensions are probably right at 3 feet by 2.5 feet tall. Baggage doors are thick and your outdoor speakers are here. The front compartment houses your battery and your spare tire. That's the battery it's going to be supplied with from the factory now, and if you decided to upgrade an additional battery, it's already prepped to receive it. Here's your power cord and your spare tire that I hope you never have to utilize. Well, I guess you guys have enjoyed the video so far if you stuck around this long, and I greatly do appreciate you guys sticking around. Again, what do you guys think of the new truck? Well, new to me at least. I'm liking the graphics, especially at nighttime when the different headlights hit it. It looks really nice. Give me a thumbs up. I greatly do appreciate you guys sticking around this long. Continue to like and subscribe. Come see us.